Earnestly Podcast here with the NBA Whisperer. First time on the show, Denny Blanco, my man. Big fan of yours, by the way, for the record.
Listen, I appreciate you having me aboard. You sent me,
Yes.
we've been going back and forth. So this is EJ's a great time to say thank you for inviting me on. And I am the NBA Whisperer, Sir Denny Blanco. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and I am on TikTok. And we, I talk about basketball all day. So I'm just happy that you have me on, and we're gonna chop up some, chop it up and talk about some things. So let's do it.
Yeah, you're the co-host of the Into the Game podcast with Randy Cruz, part of Cruz Control Network. I've actually been friends with Randy for a long time. Although he hasn't been on the show in a long time. I think I was doing some research last night. The last time Randy was on the show was actually the summer of 2016.
Yeah, listen, if I told you how many hats Randy wore, shout out to our Randy J. Cruz,
yes,
Randy
sir.
Savage, I call him. If I told you how many hats he wore, you'd get dizzy. The man wears a lot of hats, so I'm sure he's juggling a couple things. But when he gets, he does wrestling, he does basketball, he does, all different retro rooms. So we got a couple of things in the plate. So hopefully we'll get back into the swing of things soon for sure.
Yeah, I'm missing, especially the retro room, man. I'm missing the podcast lately. I know he's busy doing his stuff on the side, obviously during the summer, but his basketball camp and whatnot. But yeah, man, you look and linked up with Randy years ago, and I got to know you and listen to your material with him as well. I'm like, dude, you're entertaining as hell, bro.
You're no, listen, I appreciate it. I'm just speaking about what I know, what I don't know, and leaning in on it. That's all I'm doing. So that's what it is. So go ahead, please.
Before I dive into topics real quick, first time on the show, so let people know about you a little bit. How long been in the media game now, man? How long been doing this, man?
Listen, I've been in the media game for maybe about 3 or 4 years. Been rocking with Randy. We all know we have aspirations, and I went to college, got a degree, got a mass communications degree. So I definitely wanted to be in the sports broadcasting field. But you gotta take some lumps and go into internships, and you may have to
kiss babies,
serve some coffee, kiss some babies, iron some clothes, wash some cars. And I had to make some money. So fast forward, here I am now. Internet's booming, social media is booming. People are practicing or actually doing auditions online. And it's easier now for folks to be like, you know what, I like this person. They may be good for our brand. Come on, let's hire him or her. So right now at this point, I'm just every single conversation is an audition. Every single conversation is an opportunity for me to establish who I am and what my brand is about and what I could provide on any show. And I take it seriously. So here I am, and definitely am. Besides basketball, I talk many subjects as well. So it's not just basketball.
Okay.
Many subjects as well. It's not just
because I've already talked hip hop in movies also.
Man, hip hop movies. Randy's the wrestling guy.
I am too.
You go. You Randy's wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling since maybe since The Rock left. So it's his first time. So it's been a while.
20 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, but other than that, man, I'm out here. I'm doing these videos when I can. I do a breakdown video where I break down some ideas of the most recent breakdown was I believe was the top 15. I believe Hoops Hype had a top 15.
Nice.
We'll discuss that later.
Nice.
But so I broke that down, and I'm interested in having conversations and dialogue. And actually, yes, I have no problem people yelling at me. EJ, I have no problem people yelling at me, people thinking I'm wrong, people thinking that I have no,
Me too.
Yeah,
because I get it all the time. I get all the time from my people on this show, other platforms I appear on. I get all the time for my wild takes. We call that wild, of course.
Wild takes, whatever the case may be. Listen, Randy gets on me at times. He's just like, what? And I'm just like, I can back up what I'm saying, and it's okay. Everyone has as long as you're backing up what you're saying and allowing the other person to say, okay, this is why I think this way. Can you counter that? And if it's not a counter, and if it's a yell, if it's Dennis, Denny, you don't know what you're talking about. It's okay.
Oh, and to your point, there's an art form to it too. Like Like there's a Skip Bayless version of that, which I can't stand. But there's a Nick Wright version of that, well, like Nick Wright maybe sound outlandish, but at the same time, there is some logic to it. Maybe a little bit stretching a little bit of the take it to it, but there's logic to it. And I think with your stuff, especially too, I've been following you for a couple of years now. Your takes are in that same ballpark where there's logic to it. Even if it sounds wacky for the mainstream, there's logic to it.
That's it. And
you see it, as you say, on the breakdown.
You see it. Like that's the main point of when I break, EJ saying my intro is the breakdown. Blanco, you see it. And I have obviously what we're discussing on the actual screen. And I'm asking questions because I have these questions, whether it's we're going to talk about James Harden, yada, yada, yada. I ask questions that I'm just like, so is it me? Am I the only one feeling this way when your media's explaining something and having a slant or a narrative? And I'm just like, no, I don't think that. I honestly think something else. And if it's okay, I'd like to share and get people's feedback. So.
Right. And to your point also too, like, what the landscape of media is shrinking now. Look, you've seen it. You've seen it every day. And ESPN, more layoffs. And this company, more layoffs. There's value now in this. You know what? If you enjoy doing this for enjoying, whether it's a hobby or just trying to get somewhere, there's value in just building your own brand. Honestly.
Very big value in building your own brand. We've seen it play out, which is funny to me. I watch Cold Pizza. For those who don't know who Cold Pizza is, Cold Pizza was First Take before First Take, and I watched it religiously because I enjoyed the opinion piece that they brought to ESPN
when Skip was tolerable, actually.
Yes, when Skip was even that he wasn't tolerable for me anyway. Even then, I was just like, I know what he's doing.
Right.
I know what he's doing, right? So it's just like, okay. But then you add Stephen A to the mix. And as soon as you add Stephen A, immediately I said, that's the sauce. That's what we need right there. Keep mixing that up. And of course, the actual viewership went through the roof.
Right, of course.
And then you realize after a couple of years, Skip sits back, like, I don't really have like Stephen A's brand is, speaking of brands, through the roof.
Yeah,
it's rising. And here I am. I'm just Skip Bayless. So he decides to take himself to FS1, obviously, because they're different avenues, different ways you can, skin this cat. And he gets to FS1. I need some sauce. I can't do this on my own. Shout out to Colin Cowherd. He's like, I don't need it. I'll just do it on my own.
Yeah.
Cool. I respect that, even though I don't respect some of your takes. I respect
of course.
I respect that, Colin Cowherd. When it comes to Skip, he said, I need the sauce. Shannon, come over. Shannon came over, worked out a little bit, and then you come to realize Shannon's the sauce.
Yeah.
Shannon.
But Shannon surpassed him. Really? You think about it.
Shannon was the sauce. And it's interesting to me that Stephen A. weeks later would say, oh, we're working on getting Shannon over here. It's interesting that Stephen A., with every string that he could pull, is excited to bring over Shannon Sharpe. It's interesting. And then the other side is just like, oh, well, whether they try to keep him or not.
Right.
Clearly, when you have a diamond, you want to keep it, you want to shine it, you want to place it in a perfect place.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them go. But unfortunately, we're talking about brands again. Yes, you build your brand, and you see at times, even on the majors, your brand can outshine someone else's brand.
Yeah.
And then now it's a butting head situation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Do you think Shannon goes to ESPN?
Oh, he's there already. If he's not there, I mean, in my head, he's there already. If he's not at ESPN, I don't know.
Because I don't think he needs it, to be honest with you. I don't think he needs ESPN. But although ESPN is kind of shifting again now too, also, like, they were going away from the personality thing for a while, and now they're kind of going back to that again with with McAfee being there now. Stephen A. is a face of the company, obviously. You bring Shannon Sharpe in. What you're telling me is that you're going back to the branding, personality based thing, which is I don't have a problem with it necessarily. I'm just saying they reverse coursing again.
For me, following ESPN from a period of time, I always loved they kind of set it up like it was in baseball. You have the majors, AAA, AA, single A, right? You rise up, right? ESPN, like initially going years back, there was like AAA, single A, and then the majors. I say Stuart Scott. Some people are like, oh yeah, Stuart Scott. I know he's booyah, all that. Yeah, people. Stuart Scott was not on the major show initially.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they had dude in the back.
ESPN 2,
ESPN,
yeah.
Yeah, ESPN 2 in the back when no one was watching. And people started stumbling upon him like, let me listen to this guy. Oh, this guy's really entertaining. Oh my gosh, maybe they should. And then they started realizing that Stuart Scott's time slot, where they put him like deep when no one's supposed to pay attention, started rising. So they had to move him to the front. AAA, single A, like you now, that's not the case. Now it's about the money grab, the brand name. McAfee, for me, great at what he does. I don't think that was a good move for ESPN. No. They went for the money grab. They went for the attention with McAfee. I didn't think it was a good move for me.
I don't think it was from him in general, because I think, but then again, I know why he did it, because he has a family now and he wants to, money is part of it too, but also he's had a kid. Him doing it independently also means more time away from the family, because of the fact that he has to also not only do a shit on show, he's also in charge of HR and insurance and all the other things that we don't think about, of course, when building your own company. ESPN does that for you, and all you have to do is show up to work, and he values his time with his wife and his newborn now, so he decided to go this route. So I get it. I get why he did it. I don't think it's good for him, because I think him as an independent, and and this is the way his brand is built. Very loose on language, which I love. You lose some of that now, and I wonder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes they call it selling out, but I don't call it selling out. Yeah, sometimes they call it selling out. I don't call it selling out, because you have to make a decision for you and your family.
Right.
So initially, you take the deal, the 5-year deal, whatever the case may be. But for me, I'm looking at it as, listen, you have to people gravitate, for me anyway, let me speak for me. People gravitate to people that grow with, or brands that grow, where we can see consistency. So,
right.
When they ask Kenny Smith, like, okay, why, ask some questions about ESPN, and he's just like, the reason why we work on TNT is because you know what you're going to get every single time. And it's been like that for years. ESPN, you're shifting this, you're shifting that, you're shifting this. It's just like, especially for example, the NBA countdown.
Yeah.
Shifting this, you're shifting these people, it's like we don't get a consistent, or even me personally, I'm watching ESPN games and I'm not watching the even shout out to Jalen Rose and who they have, Paul
Stephen A.
No, even on ESPN, I'm not, because for me it's not as a fan as what I want to listen to. I think more with the TNT group, they talk more intrinsically about basketball than the ESPN crew when they're there. And that could be an argument. That's not a problem. But the bottom line is, when it comes to brands and names, it's you make a decision for yourself. ESPN, I think, is going to be, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be up for a little bit with when he, the new guy comes in, and then it's going to go down after they realize, like, okay, he's done this already, but he's not bringing anybody else on, and we're surprised to speak with. All that stuff's going to happen online.
Yeah.
All that stuff that makes noise and stops Twitter and gets Twitter talking and TikTok, that happens online.
Yeah.
So you dig? Like, I'm trying to understand the last time. It's funny. Like, oh, when's the last time something that didn't happen online went viral?
Right.
No.
And I feel like ESPN is trying to recreate that whole NBA and TNT dynamic, but you can't do that if you don't allow the dynamic to flourish. Because part of the reason it works, because they allow it to flourish. You put restrictions on things, ain't gonna work.
You literally had EJ, Charles, and Kenny. Started with Kenny, then he brought Charles, and then brought Shaq. And it's just literally like, yo, do what you want. We're paying you to do what you want, say what you want, say how you feel. Charles is talking about a play. He's like, yeah, I wasn't watching the game. I was watching Les Miserables. It's silly.
And this is a sense of authenticity to it that people love. That's why.
Yeah.
Not generic.
It's like, he's like, yeah, listen, I'm not watching this terrible game. I feel it's a terrible game today. I'm waiting for the LeBron game next week. Like, it's like he says this on the show. I'm laughing. Shaq's sitting back laughing like Shaq's like, and that's another thing. It's just like you turn on the TV and you're just like, I want to see who makes the other person laugh first.
Yeah.
I want to see Shaq laugh at Charles. I want to see Kenny Smith say something and Charles Lee looking at him like, I just want to punch you. Like, I just want to see stuff like that. And yes, I like the Nick Wright, Broussard.
Yeah.
Forget the other gentleman's name.
Well,
I like
First Things First.
Yeah, I love first things first.
I do too. My first show.
Yeah, I love First Things First because not only are they able to talk and able to back it up with stats and conversation about proof, they're in the know. They're in the know. They talk the deep. They know the lingo. They talk hip hop. So it's exactly what you want a show to be. Right. So so that's that. Brands will be brands.
Yeah. Speaking of broadcast and ESPN, they just had a major shakeup with their NBA one team, their broadcast team of Mike Breen. Well, Breen's still there, but Mark Jackson's gone. Jeff Van Gundy was part of the casualties of layoffs last month. I'm stunned. Obviously, Van Gundy being gone. I'm not gonna lie to you though. As much as I did like him for years, the three of them really, mostly the other two. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of warned me a little bit in recent years.
Listen, they had to. If they're gonna pay your boy, it's McAfee, right?
Yeah,
McAfee, right?
Right.
Yeah. If they're gonna pay your boy McAfee X amount of dollar, got to trim the fat. Got to trim the fat. Now, do I think that doesn't make sense to get rid of Mark Jackson and Van Gundy and bring in Doc Rivers? No,
Doc isn't terrible, but he's not Van Gundy and Mike.
I don't see I don't see it. I don't see what the benefit was to refresh.
Right.
Like that's not. No, we didn't ask for a refresh. We like when Jeff Van Gundy talks smack about a referee when the referee doesn't know. We like that Mark Jackson and Mike Breen will get on Jeff Van Gundy for saying some nonsense. We like that. Why?
That's to your point. That's kind of what the vibe. It's similar to the vibe on TNT. In a sense, just on broadcast, not in the studio.
Literally broadcasting, actually live during the game. Jeff Van Gundy said, I don't like that set. I don't like that set LeBron just ran. He should have ran the first set where he got the screen. I'm sitting there back like, yes, I agree.
Authenticity.
Yeah, but versus, now we have to, and don't get me wrong, there are people that, the lady, her name slips my mind.
Doris Burke.
Doris Burke is brilliant.
And by the way, she's part of this new team now.
Yeah,
which I love.
Burke is. Go ahead, please.
No, which I love. She's part of. They replaced those two with Doris Burke and you just mentioned Doc Rivers also too.
Yeah. Doris Burke is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Doris Burke is brilliant. Now, some people may say, and that's okay. Some people may say not for the finals. Some people may say for the regular season. I may not want you for the finals. I may want a specific group for the finals. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's going to get to a point, and I'm sure there's technology out there right now. And I was looking into it. Mm-hmm. Thinking back with the NFL years ago in my head, thinking back, I said to myself, it'd be interesting. I said the NFL. If the NFL decided to do this, it'd be phenomenal. What if the NFL actually put helmets on the quarterbacks? I mean, helmets, cameras,
right?
Cameras on the quarterbacks' heads. Or you have a drone that's literally above the players at all times. You pay extra for those views. And now I think they have a couple of those things on NFL Network, if I'm not mistaken. They have a couple of things where you pay for a specific view. Imagine that in basketball, or imagine where you're able to pay. I want to listen to these particular people talk about the game. So you have a 3 broadcast groups. Mm-hmm. And you get to choose which one you want to listen to. There's been games where I've listened to broadcast. Mute.
Me too.
Mute. I don't. You're making the game less entertaining.
Well, not only that for me, but also I listen to a lot of podcasts. So if I'm like trying to do 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing, put on a podcast, put on the TV in there, and just boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Yeah, so it's a lot of multitasking involved. But yeah, when it came to that move with ESPN, I realized with McAfee, I was like, okay, they're going to have to adjust the monies, because if they're going to give him X amount of dollars for X amount of years, folks are going to have to get trimmed. And that's what happened. So, and I'm sure they're going to land in different places and continue to do their brand. I mean, Jeff ain't going to think it's in USA right now. He's the USA team. So he's okay.
Yeah. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Jeff Van Gundy is not crying right now. Trust me.
Yo, fill me on this, bro. I have a question for you. What the hell does James Harden want? What's going on with James? What does he want?
James Harden wants good question. Let me answer that for you. James Harden wants what James Harden wants, if that makes sense. Now you're probably saying, Denny, he didn't say what he wanted. Doesn't matter. You don't need to know. I don't need to know.
Right.
Only he needs to know. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls that are listening to this, listening to me, Sir Denny Blanco. I've never chose a team. Shout out to Randy. I never chose an NBA team to follow. I'm an NBA. Go ahead.
Although you did say you were like kind of on the Nets thing for a little bit.
I'm leading to that. There you go. I'm leading to that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Perfect. No, perfect. Yes. So never chose a team. I love players, love the NBA. It's a soap opera. Love it. Yeah. Love everything. Mm-hmm. But Randy's like, look, I'm a Knicks fan and you need to choose a team. Choose a team. Pick one. Hurry. So you know what? Give me enough peer pressure. You know what I'll do? I saw Kyrie come over to the Nets. I saw KD come over to the Nets. James came over. I said, you know what? I'm a Nets fan now. You sure you didn't do it despite him?
So, I mean, city rivals, crosstown rivals?
Yeah. Oh, just despite him. So I'm like, I'm a Nets fan now. And he's just like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Nets fan now. That's it. I love what they put together. I got Bruce Brown. I got, I got Ben Simmons. I'm like, This is after the fact, Ben Simmons. But fast forward, Kyrie says, I'm going. No, actually, in the order that it was received.
Right.
James said he was gone.
He bounced.
Kyrie said he was gone. Kevin Durant said he was gone. I'm no longer a Nets fan. It's neither here nor there. The concept is this. James Harden asked to leave Houston.
Yeah.
Got to Brooklyn. Asked to leave Brooklyn. Got to the Sixers. Now he's like, Sixers, I'm out. Excuse me? And the conversations have been back and forth that I'm talking to people online when I'm saying, what did this guy want? You say, what did this guy want? And the conversation is, are you on the side of the millionaire or are you side of the player? And, shout out to Gilbert Arenas. He had a good conversation. And the conversation was simple. Like, why are people always attacking the player and not the owner or the business owner or the general manager?
Easy access.
Yeah. If a boss promised you something under the table and you realize that they lied, which is what they're saying. Morey said, here, take a pay cut. James Harden, come the next year, we'll make it up to you. And it looks like that's not happening. James is calling him a liar. And that's what I posted online earlier. I said, well, did Morey lie when he was in Houston with you? Because I swore he was the one that brought you from OKC over to Houston. And people were looking at him crazy like, what are you doing?
And then paid him a bunch of money too on top of that.
Daryl Morey brought him over to Houston and was like, that's my guy. I think he could be a player. Paid him, and what did Houston do? Rewarded him with an MVP season, right? Now, the conversation is, Gilbert Arenas said, James performed. Now pay him. I said, define perform. When was the last time we've seen the James Harden from Houston? When I mean the James Harden from Houston, if you pull up his numbers from Houston, your man is averaging 30, 10, 7, like astronomical numbers.
And playing all the games too on top of that. His availability is actually really off through the roof.
The statement was, James Harden, I will no longer play with the team that Daryl Morey was a part of. He's a liar. Well, James, are you a liar? And that's what I asked in my breakdown video. I said, James, are you a liar? Because when Joel Embiid was looking for help in the playoffs last year against the Boston Celtics, What did you provide him? The MVP, Joel Embiid, whether it's Joker or not, you can add
No,
that.
he's MVP. Let's stop all that noise because it's an 82-game sample, guys. Come on.
Whether somebody will say,
we'll get to our top 5 conversation in a second too, and discuss that.
Yes.
I have a take for that one. Go ahead.
Exactly. So you have to understand, Joel Embiid is looking for help, and you, James, getting paid, gave him what? So Daryl Morey is supposed to see the years that you've been in Philly, and say, you know what? Yeah, let's max him. No. And even if, and a lot of people, before we move forward, a lot of people say, oh, listen, it's not real unless it's on paper. Guys and gals, you'd be surprised at how many multi-million-dollar deals get made on the golf course with a handshake. Mm-hmm. Golf course, dinner, lunch, brunch. Have you watched any movie? Did you watch the Entourage series on HBO with Vince and them? Did you watch any movie series? Do you think all their business deals happened in an office with paperwork? No, they happen at lunches, at dinners. And then the concept is, because you're a man of your word, you're going to do this. So James feels away. That's fine. Feel away, and maybe Daryl lied to you. Maybe.
Do you believe him?
Do I believe James?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe James. I believe Daryl lied to him. I don't think that James has a right to do this 3 times.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if you did it. Oh, Houston.
I hate my thing too. Also, like if you're so bad at shit wanting to leave, just opt out.
No. It's another one. See?
Okay. Oh.
I need that money.
Yeah.
I need that $30 million, Daddy. You ain't gonna have me not opt in. No. I'm gonna take that 30 and then tell you to trade me.
Right.
Because I'm the player. And yes, the owners are billionaires. The players are technically millionaires. Yes, I understand that. And there are a lot of players, and that's another conversation for another day.
Right.
People think that all the NBA players have leverage. No, they don't. It's a handful. There's a handful. And maybe the top 5 that we're about to discuss, maybe those top 5 have that leverage. So top 5, you mentioned earlier, you said top 5 in the NBA right now currently.
You want to go there now?
The segue is the segue. The segue.
We can do it now. I mean, we do it now. Yeah.
Go right there.
All right.
So
who's your top 5? 5 to 1 in order. I guess number 1's easy at this point. Right?
Joker 1.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Joker 1. Steph 2.
Ooh.
Luka 3.
Ooh.
Luka 3. 4. LeBron.
Uh-oh.
He said, uh-oh. 5. Stayed in the 5. Even though KD left me. Even though KD left me, I got him at 5.
Okay, so we got to talk a little bit.
Talk.
You have me a Joker. I have Steph by 5 as well too, but he's lower. Where's Giannis, bro?
Fair. That's why I like these conversations. So,
yes.
Joker, Steph, Giannis. 1, 2, 3. And then, my 4th was, so I got 2 more. So, yeah, I can still fit LeBron at my 4 and KD at my 5. That's fair.
All right.
Am I making it inroads? No.
I'm not saying to match my thing because
no.
So my 5. So pre-show, we were talking about this, and I said like my top 5, and so mine is Gian. Right. Okay. So look, I do every year. My boys Zach and Chris come on the show, and right before the season starts, we do our top 25, and we go in order. It's like a 1 hour and a half episode, and my top 4 are fairly in the pocket. Well, I believe it's going to be the same in October. 1 Joker, 2 Giannis, 3 Steph, 4 Luka. I think 3 to 4 could be interchangeable. Honestly, Luka be 3, whatever, no big deal. Whatever. I told you on the pre-show though that 5 spot is a little tough for me.
When you go to 5 to 7, and that bucket you can rotate, which is fine. As long as you have the players in that 7, right?
Because entering the playoffs, I had Joel Embiid as placeholder for that MVP, and then he fell apart in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Fell apart in the playoffs. I can't just give it to you. Yeah, MVP. Did he deserve MVP? Absolutely. Because remember, it's an 82 game sample. Stop the noise about we'll use this and Joker 2. Stop. 82 game sample. Who's the best player in the league? It was Embiid.
And I can agree with that. And I'll pass it off to you as well. Listen, Joel, I said this to Randy. Joel, God bless you, won an MVP. So did Karl Malone that year that Jordan won the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
And the championship against Karl Malone.
By the way, same. So did Charles Barkley 93, and then Jordan said, "Nah, hold on."
You see,
good.
So, there you go. So Joker, you pummeled him with 48,
right?
And you became the MVP during the season, but doesn't matter.
So number 5, I go back and forth, and the guy I keep looking at, and I was very critical of him all year long and through the playoffs, Jason Tatum. Because on one hand, right, because your reaction is exactly how I feel. On one hand, on moment's notice, he could drop a 50 burger and it's all good. Game 7 against Philadelphia, right? On the other hand, this guy disappears and doesn't show up and doesn't have to me, he lacks, like I made the analogy during the playoffs that if you put Jimmy Butler's heart in Jason Tatum's soul, Jason Tatum's the best player in basketball, ain't even close.
Forget
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he needs Mamba. He needs some Mamba.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Jimmy's the last of that breed. Really think about it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Tatum's 5, but that's the guy I struggle with the most. In is he top 5? Because I've had this argument with people on the internet about that in April and May, and it was a very polarizing argument. Some folks said, "Nah, he's top 5." And I get the talent part, but it's so much more than just the talent.
You can't be in the top 7.
Right.
You have to be consistent.
Right.
I can't blink, see you drop 60 and then tomorrow drop 12. I can't do it. I can't do it. These guys in the top 7, book it. Right. We're giving 30, 15, and 10 from Joker.
Yeah.
Book it. It's not even a question. Steph is going to give you 27. He's going to hit 8 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Book it. Luka's going to give you 28, 15 assists, and 7 rebounds. Book it. So that's what it is. It's consistency, 100%.
So why LeBron though? And I'm not hating on that because I love LeBron.
No. So LeBron can shuffle anywhere between, like I said, top 7. Whether you want to, sit and look at his numbers. Look at his numbers at where he is now. He's still dominant. He's still doing what he's supposed to do. And you'd be surprised. Last year they flamed out, right? I didn't expect them. I mean, that was my expectation that they flame out because some of the trades happen late, and it takes some chemistry. Denver was together for the whole season,
right?
Come on, Denver was together the whole season, and Lakers literally splintered and they came back together with some trades. So I have LeBron there because it takes when you average it over 20, 25 points a game, as old as he is. And people still fear him. Put him in the 7 for sure. Whether it's, I'm not going to, top 7. Whether you want to put him 7 at the end, that's fine. Top 7 still out of 400 players in the NBA is at age 40 plus. Grandpa LeBron, that's still pretty good.
So let me get a little tease here. My preliminary list of top 10 in general. And this is not locked in because I did this in May.
Sure.
Before the final started.
Sure.
So as I told you, the top 5 was Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Luka, and Tatum 5, maybe asterisk.
Sure.
6 through 10, I had Embiid, who moved down a spot from last year. Butler at 7, KD at 8, Booker at 9, and LeBron at 10. Now look, again, I'm not done with this list yet. The KD thing was interesting for me because KD for me entering last year was number 2. Number 2. I was still high on him. And it's not that he's not great still. It's the injuries, man. At some point, he got to be available. Same problem with Kawhi.
I'm asking too much for expecting you to play. I'm asking too much. Like
Right.
that's what, like in the last
Right.
couple of years, I'm talking to Randy, and I'm just like, I'm asking too much to get some consistency from Kyrie,
Mhm.
from James. I'm
Mhm.
asking too much. I'm asking too much for you guys to play like Jimmy Butler, you mentioned
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah.
That's asking too much. These guys, I don't know if it's the training. I don't know what it is, but these guys take. Let me back up and just say this.
Mhm.
Tyronn Lue, that coaches the LA Clippers, that Tyronn Lue that got Allen Iverson stepped over, that Tyronn Lue that played with Michael Jordan at Washington his last year, said in an interview that Jordan played all the games at his age with a bum knee. Come on, bro.
He's built different, bro.
Come on. You know, Jordan only slept 1 hour. He only slept 1 hour.
And that's gambling and smoking cigars.
You know, he gambling, smoking cigars, and playing golf. He played 1 hour.
Why do you think when you see The Last Dance, his eyes all bloodshot red and yellow?
He sleeps 1 hour a day and literally gave you 20-something points a game on a bum knee. And we can't get guys to play 30, 40 games. Like, you know, again, he's like, yeah, well, this is the season that, you know, injuries, Paul George and Kawhi, we need them. Ty Lue saying it's not going to make them play.
Yeah.
Saying it's not going to make Kawhi and Paul George play more than 75 games. No, they're at a point where Kawhi, one thing. Kawhi, I'll give him mulligan. He went to Toronto and did work.
Yeah.
Kawhi, for me, whether you want to, you know, put him in the same boat as your Ben Simmons, what have you, no. Kawhi won a chip literally in Toronto. I give him a pass. Paul George? You? Playoff Pete? You? Nah. You don't get passes from me.
But, you know, in revisiting this list, though, because I haven't looked at this list since May, I guess KD is still a little low for me. 8 still is a little bit harsh, I think, because KD, again, injuries, yes, but when he's there, man, God, he's so good. Same with Kawhi, but yeah, but I have a hard time with this because, like, I do this list at the time as I was awarding players who are still playing basketball at the moment. So Jimmy was a little high at 7. He's probably closer to 8 or 9 because, I mean, Jimmy, as good as he is, let's be real.
Could you imagine Jimmy Butler on the Sixers?
I mean, they did have him at one point, and then Tobias Harris over me. Come on.
If I was a Philly fan, forget the Nets.
Yeah.
The Nets ain't got nothing on Philly. When it comes to the last 7-8 years, Jesus, the Nets got nothing on Philly. But yeah, no, KD, like, you know, the Achilles minus the Achilles. KD, he carried the Nets, man. He could only do so much. And listen, and people say 1 inch over PJ Tucker, that 1 inch at the 3-point line. Whew.
Yeah.
That was a difference right there.
Toenail, baby. Toenail.
Stinking toenail. But again, KD's now in Phoenix. And are we expecting his numbers to get better or worse with Devin Booker attracting all the attention? Please. He's probably not going to have. He's going to have more open shots that he's ever had since Golden State.
Yeah. Let me throw you a lob real quick.
Please.
Another name.
Please.
This is the name I'm going to have a hard time placing when we get closer to the start of the year. Where would you place Anthony Davis? Because again, when he's healthy, he's probably a top 5 player in the league, right?
Shout out to you, AD. You got your money.
Yeah, deserves it, I guess.
You got your money. AD. Oh man, injuries.
Yeah,
injuries. Bubble AD.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. Bubble AD. Yeah, I love Bubble AD.
Maybe 80 last year though, when he was healthy, he was dominant.
There was a stretch where he just wanted to keep shooting threes. It wasn't. He was shooting 20% from 3. He's just like,
yeah,
you're out there for a reason. They're letting you shoot. They don't want to defend you down on the post because you have a bag. You hook shot, mid-range,
Mm-hmm.
floater. You have a bag. So of course, you use 3-point line. They're like, oh, hey, shoot that, Anthony. I don't want to go down here and defend you with these extra bag moves that you got. Shoot that 3. That bails me out. Thank you. Yeah, AD health-wise, but for me, AD top 10. No, sir.
So you want to put him top 10?
Injuries, man.
Okay.
Injuries, right. Consistency. You need to be consistent in that top 10-7 range. I need you consistent. If you breaking down, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know?
I respect
that's
that.
my thing.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One last thing to get you out of here. Damian Lillard. The saga continues. It's been quiet last couple weeks now. And so far the only thing we've heard is the Miami thing. Like Miami, he wants to go to Miami. The Portland Blazers don't have the pieces that they have or whatever. Don't want to, I don't know. We're at a standstill. There's clearly no other teams talking to this. Look, the GM is here and posturing all this stuff, but there's clearly no other teams talking to them because if there were better deals, they've been out there already. It's Miami bust.
Exactly. Dame, unfortunately, took the max. Now he's forcing a trade because he wanted his money.
Yeah.
And I think he spent two extra years there for no reason, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want to pull the trade me because he wanted to look a certain way.
Of course.
But for me, I don't understand why those days aren't over. We've had multiple of trade me people. Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie.
Kobe was one twice.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah.
Literally said, I do not want to play for the Lakers. Trade me.
The Lakers. Not the Blazers, the Lakers.
So this narrative of I don't want to be that guy. Be that guy. Because the concept can be very simple. LeBron is different. I'll play my contract out.
Yep.
Deuces. LeBron is different.
Yeah.
But for those that are forcing a trade and going to places, listen, or even Kevin Durant being out of contract and then going over to,
of course,
Golden State. But these guys that are forcing their way out, it's like they're forcing. I'm like, are you forcing your way out to get a chip? What are you forcing your way out of? To just lose in the second round and go home?
Yeah.
That's what you're forcing your way out of? That's stupid. Force your way out of to go play with Embiid or Giannis or Luka or LeBron or, Dame is forcing his way out to go play in Miami with Jimmy and them. Now, yes, the game is the game. So we only have Portland has the deal on the table. That deal's not changing. Miami, Pat Riley, suave and debonair that he is. Me, I'm Pat Riley. I see Dame on the clock. I'm like, yo, check that. Yeah, this is Pat Riley.
Yeah.
I have here Tyler Hero, Duncan, and multiple of picks. What say you? From my knowledge and what I'm reading, I think they only have Hero and picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I know they threw another name. They're not throwing in a young player also too. They drafted last Jovic, maybe. I mean, the kid they just drafted from UCLA too also this year.
Listen, for me, if I'm Pat Riley, I'm cleaning the house. That's Dame Lillard. That may take us over the hump in the East.
Yeah, it's also a 2-3 year window with this too, with Jimmy and Bam. So take advantage of it.
You might as well take advantage of it and help, obviously, add a piece that is legit.
Yeah.
All NBA that will definitely take pressure off Bam as well as Jimmy. It's a no-brainer. He's going to be in Miami. The question is when, and the question is for how much. Now, once again, it could be just a holdout. Like, okay, we're just going to hold this out until training camp, and then we'll pull the trigger and then send him on his way. Maybe maybe there's going to be a better deal.
But isn't there a risk though for Portland that the longer they wait, the price shrinks and shrinks and shrinks? Because there's no market. The market is Miami. That is the market. And
that's the problem with these people saying when you say where you're going to go, that gives a leverage to the team that you're going to go to.
Right.
So the Clippers with James Harden, Clippers is like, what? James wants to come here. We'll give you just one draft pick.
Nah, fam, we're good.
We'll just give you one draft pick. We're not giving you pieces. For what? You don't want to be there anyway.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, but so I understand the conversation, like, okay, keep it behind closed doors so the actual deal can be legit. But if it's not moving to the speed that you want it to move, you pull a James, I call it the James Harden. You come to camp 30 pounds overweight. You don't do things. You don't play. You say, oh, my knee, I'm not playing today.
Yeah.
You do things like that to force your way out.
Shady shit, though, but that's the game. That's the
that's the game. And Dame doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Which is I understand. You could go as far as saying I want to trade. That extra James Harden stuff, I'm not, a fan of that, but it's been done. So guys, girls, learn from these business lessons that happen every single day. When in doubt, at any time, when you're thinking about what to do, and there's a business on the other side, always choose yourself.
Amen.
Always.
Common sense.
Always. Trust me, it'll never backfire. I watch movies, documentaries. I'm a documentary buff. Every single time I'm pulling these lessons from these movies or these documentaries, it always rings true. If I literally just thought about self as opposed to being a team player, as opposed to being whether it's the music business, whether it's anything, it's just like, oh yeah, I was a team player. I was just trying to be team. And the next thing you know, fast forward, you don't have no say in this particular business because you were a team player. You didn't make it. You didn't make it vocal that you wanted to be part of that. You wanted a contract. You wanted to be written in stone. Hey man, I love these lessons. Whether it's NBA, daily, I love them because it holds true in real life.
Yeah. Back to Harden real quick before we get out of here. Does he get traded?
Harden?
Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone. Like you just can't. You can't dance in Japan. Oh, is it China? You can't dance in China.
Right. Yeah.
Call your GM a liar.
Yeah.
And then say I'm not going to play for the organization if he's there. Daryl Morey's not going anywhere. They're going to send James Harden away. And what's funny is, this was fun, and I want to come back.
Oh, absolutely. You will be back on the show.
Definitely. What's funny is this. Once they get rid of James in Philly, Joel Embiid's next.
Oh, my God. And that's a tease the next time on the podcast. That's a tease right there. Sir Denny Blanco, thanks for the podcast as always, man. Plug away what you want to plug.
Sir Denny Blanco, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Sir Denny Blanco, It's in the Game podcast. The links are all in my bio. Come through, support. Once again, the breakdown with Denny Blanco. Got the actual video clips online, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Come through. I appreciate the support, sharing the videos. Thank you so much for sharing the videos for those that are watching and share it. I appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm. Yes. We are slaves to the algorithm, but we fight back. Appreciate you.
Joel Embiid, future New York Knicks. Don't get Randy excited, man.
Hey! Whole different conversation for a different day, big boy.
Next time on the podcast. Good job as always, my friend.